BeastNet podcast, sponsored in part by James Safety Services, OCR Buddy, and supported by the fitness community. Here we discuss all things fitness related, running, rucking, mental health and preparedness, and of course, obstacle course racing. Welcome to the BeastNet.
They're on their way. So how have you been?
Oh man, keeping busy. Last weekend with that 50 miler, that really kicked my butt.
Yeah, I could tell. But that's all right. You did it. That's what matters.
Yeah, 17 hours of pretty much perpetual movement the entire time with very small breaks.
I love that. That's my kind of deal.
Yeah, Virginia that was with us, she did it all with a ruck on too.
Wow. There's a true beast.
Yeah, she's a little crazy, but that's why we love her. If she actually gets out to Ohio, she'll be doing the Go Ruck team assessment out there in Ohio next month.
Okay. Grab a chair, sir.
Yeah, Wendy sits there. Eric can sit here.
Here he is.
Oh,
Hey.
look at that.
Are we going to be loud enough? Wendy, if you sit right over there and pull in, this would be awesome.
I'm coming.
See what happens when you?
Yeah, you can.
When I have to postpone for one night, you get 4 people instead of 1.
Yep, and I get the doggo.
The doggos are here. Yeah.
This whole thing. Look at that.
Here goes Wendy.
Here's
Come
our
on in here.
co-founder and clinical director.
Oh man, we're gonna fit all in here.
And the wheelie girl.
Come on.
That's awesome.
We're all family.
You got to sit in my lap, girl.
Well, I'm okay
There we
with
go.
it.
How about that? Everybody.
Man, look at that. We got everybody. Yeah.
Hey,
So-
Silly Grace, would you please close the door, honey? And I got cheese pizza for you, honey. And there's one of these drinks there for you,
Pizza
okay?
delivery just happened too. So.
Man, I should be down there. That pizza sounds good. I'm hungry now.
Pizza is the way to go.
How are you, Don?
Oh, I'm good. Getting ready for tomorrow. We're doing the Spartan Trail 10K. Gonna try to put up a new PR on that. And all Mike and I have been doing is just pushing ourselves harder and harder every week.
Yeah, I see you do constantly push-ups and stuff, and I look at you guys doing those videos, and I think those are good TikTok videos, and I applaud what they're doing, and then I don't do them. But I look, and I go, that's a good idea. I respect it. And then I don't.
Well, you know, Joey does them for you, I guess.
Joey,
He does them for all of us.
So
Yeah.
he's our guy.
There you go.
It's like on your cheek.
On the cheek.
That's where Snowy gets
Yeah.
it from.
You had pizza on it.
Pizza face, yeah. I immediately,
It
like,
was so natural.
I was like, okay. So, yeah, we're both pretty gross because we're just, are we filming yet? Are we about to go, or is this happening?
You're recording, man. It's
We're
up.
recording, okay. Fantastic.
Look, and I just happen to be wearing a
I
scarf.
have to tell you how much I absolutely love and adore Lisa. She's such a great addition to you guys and what you're already doing.
Yeah, she was. We were really happy to get her, and you know, you can tell. I know you have weekly meetings with her now, and
I
she's
do.
just amazing, and it's great to have another person on our team.
She's such a beautiful person.
I'm noticing your
Yep, I
legend
just wish.
jersey there.
Yeah, he's
Sneaking
wearing,
just-
wearing it.
Oh,
just-
Matching.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
look
I
at
can't
that.
put mine on.
I
I
know
didn't
because you got hug dealer.
I
I'm a
forgot.
hug dealer.
We have the Hulk, a hug dealer,
A Spartan.
old school, like Reebok version of it.
Yeah, them too.
Reebok.
nice.
You trying to get into the
We
video?
Reebok.
have our more Stars jerseys with us.
Yeah, we do. But we're doing some pretty gross work right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be out there assembling stuff while wearing good jerseys. But you know, they're legends wearing sportswear, so they'll stand up to it. You can go out there and just put nails through it, and they won't even notice.
Yeah, it's definitely good stuff. I absolutely love their products.
Yeah, one thing we discovered last week at the race that we did, and you may have discovered this if you dumped cold water on your shirt, you stay cool in those jerseys once they get wet. we stayed cool the entire race. Everybody was raving about like, wow, we should need pour water on us before we start racing. So.
I say that race is one of the things that I wanted to touch base with you about, and then also talk about all the other goings on and building of the rig and everything going on.
Should I go get the name of the rig so we can say it correctly? I've got that.
The banner.
The banner. Yeah.
In the shed.
I'll go get the banner.
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, get Bruce Banner. That ties into the whole.
We're still going to get some. Yeah, banner in the hole. We're going to get some props. You got that banner home?
Yeah. I say there's more room for Erica now, anyway.
Right. Exactly. See, circle in here, and I'm like, I've got the hug dealer shirt on because I am officially a hug dealer. I'm like, what?
That's
COVID?
awesome. Free hugs.
Huh?
Yeah, free hugs. No COVID free hugs.
Exactly. One of the worst parts about this COVID stuff is people are afraid to hug each other, and here I come. I'm like, hug me. I'm a hug dealer.
Yeah, that was last weekend when we had everybody together. That was a big thing. Is there was a lot of hugs going around because most of us hadn't seen each other in some cases in 6 to 8 weeks. You know, we got together right as COVID started, and then we had a small workout right afterwards that Spartan had us put together to try to create a safe program with Andy and the team from Spartan Workout. And then we haven't been together again since then. It's been just kind of crazy. I mean, we got a little bit of time last month during the Ultravirus 2, but it wasn't the same because we didn't have everybody.
Right.
So it's real cool to have everybody out there. It's the BeastNet training grounds and lots of hugs going around. Starting next week, we get to tear it all down and move it 15 miles.
Wow. Like he really brought props.
Hey, look at that.
You'll be able to see us better anyway.
Yeah.
We'll have such light in the background.
I say, you want me to change mine too so that I match?
All right.
Where'd my video go? There we go.
Yeah, look at there.
Woohoo!
I should probably take the
There.
burn down.
Yep. Now Zach and I match. Except there's going to be a plant on top of Joey's head.
I'm saving my for tomorrow because I know I'm going to be so sweaty. Tomorrow's going to be a long day of working. So I'm like, I'm going to wear my jersey tomorrow when we're actually putting in the work. I get to play in the mud or something. I'll find some mud to play in.
That's awesome.
How that happened.
You know, we had a great time last weekend at the race we did in Chattanooga. It was a small local race in Chattanooga, and we had another, unfortunately, with Erica. She couldn't make it.
I wasn't able at the last minute, not able to make it.
And that's okay. We had, and you know, as we say, God works in mysterious ways, because I had another client who's also a family member who has Parkinson's. She jumped right in and said, I want to do another one. We're like, sure. Her name is Kat. And the cool thing about it is we had a local gym.
Yeah, Our House Studios.
No, it was another. I'm trying to think of the boxing gym that actually focuses on people with Parkinson's. They had volunteers out all over the course last week. So Kat was out there just showing those guys, look, you know what, even though you have this disability, you can do whatever you want. And it was a great time.
It was so amazing how everything played out and worked out, because I initially, when I found out I wasn't going to be able to go, really just because my car wouldn't pass inspection and my tags expired. So I was like, there's no way I can do this. I didn't want to drive to another state with an expired tag. But I panicked because I'm like, oh my gosh, all of these people are coming together to get me through this race, and I'm not even going to be able to be there. And then shortly after I had let Joey know that I wasn't going to be able to make it, he's like, we got somebody, and told me about Kat going. And it was so cool to see the pictures and see another athlete out there with different abilities.
And I sent him a couple of photos from that race.
It was awesome.
I mean, that was the epitome of what we do, and how we had Kat harnessed on the rope pull, and had her, you know, we had everybody in the right place for support, and then 3 of us were pulling and 2 were supporting, and that was just one of the coolest shots of the day. And then the other shot was after the finish line when we all finished.
That's probably the best shot.
That's it.
The best shot of the day.
Zach's the mad scientist right now. He's determined.
He's zip tying the flag. So yeah, and everything was pretty social distance. I mean, we had only our 8-person team in our starting corral, and that's the way Julie Wolf, who was race director, and she kind of just spaced everything out that way. We didn't really run into anybody else on the course. You know, no backups at any obstacle. So it was good. We had fun.
So how many people do you think made that event this year?
Total number at the race?
Yeah.
We had 450.
And you were still able to distance out and not have any pileups at the obstacles and everything?
Because Julie is also a Spartan street ambassador, and she specifically went down to the Jacksonville race to see how they had everything set up from the starting corral to every obstacle, you know, with all the sanitizer after obstacles. So she took what she learned from the Spartan race in Jacksonville and applied it to her own race in Chattanooga. So
yeah, I talked to her right after that race in Jacksonville. I was just kind of watching Zach there. He's doing some real funny stuff behind you. So. But no, I talked to Julie about that.
Jacksonville?
Julie.
Oh, you talked to Julie?
I talked to Julie. Yeah, I talked to her right after that and got her take on how Spartan was able to keep it clean and space things out and everything. And yeah, I hope she used that for a learning experience. And it sounds like she really did. And did a great job with keeping everybody spaced out and safe down at the Zack Attack.
Hey.
We have one coming up, another one.
Yeah, well, actually, Jill, I don't know if she told you, but she's got two more. She's got two more.
She's got two.
She's got two more where she's race director. The Scenic City Mud Run on September 11th weekend. And then the other one where actually More Heart and Scars is being honored as the nonprofit recipient of the proceeds that day out in Mississippi called the Celtic Warrior Challenge.
So we'll be at both of those.
Yeah, we'll be at both of those that Julie's doing.
Yeah, I was hoping that travel restrictions would lighten up and I'd be able to make one of them. The Seattle Trifecta weekend is the same weekend as the Scenic City Mud Run, but it's looking like it's going to get canceled. And now Seattle, we're going backwards. Our governor's tightening everything up. We're down to 5-person groups, and I got a hurricane heat in 2 weeks that's technically in Washington, and I don't think it's going to happen. Now we just got the Zack Attack there.
Yeah, it was definitely a Zack Attack.
Both founders' booties are involved in the.
We actually did Scenic City last year. That was my only race last year that was not a Spartan, and had a blast. It was so much fun. It was 5 mile, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 5 mile. The coolest part, so I had not, since I've been paralyzed, I haven't been able to go down a slip and slide since I was a kid. And the very last thing at Scenic City last year was a slip and slide. And I was so excited to be able, and it was really hot out, so it was a nice refresher too. But being able to go down that slip and slide was the best thing in the world for me.
If you touch it, it won't work. So
I'm super excited to be able to go back and do it again this year.
There we go.
Perfect.
Yep,
I might.
That was actually really cool that you got to do that.
What's that? Oh yeah, hold on. I need to move. So
We're gonna
Zachary back
wardrobe.
there.
All right, there we go.
Wardrobe change here. Oh, I thought you were gonna.
Yeah, come on in.
We got a wardrobe malfunction. Oh no, I'm gonna have to edit that.
So that's happening. So that's a great example of us in action there.
Pretty much.
Joey's like, why isn't there a flag? I'm like, all right, I'll go get one. Then I'm trying, and Wendy's like, maybe you could do this. I'm like, could you maybe grab that? And
Wendy, thank you for stepping in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once the brains.
yeah. And there's some manual
brawn.
Dexterity sometimes.
Ooh.
The happy family.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I love that you guys are all just one big family down there, and it kills me that we can't get down there because of COVID.
Yeah.
But it will happen.
It will happen. Things will calm down. And so Joe was saying we were talking about what kind of directions of things to go. When we were at the Agoge, the three of us were at the Agoge together. What year was that?
2016.
2016. There was, Joe was having an event with some young kids there. I think they had a wrestling team. While we're doing the stuff in the background, there's a wrestling team. And so Joe DeSena has some more resources than we do. And his farm is a little bit bigger. Recently he put on a death race for the kids, which I don't even know how that is even possible, but they did that. I was listening to him talking about it. He said that he thinks the reason that the death race kids didn't stop is because they didn't have keys or a car or anywhere to go. He had all their stuff. And so the kids just kept on going. They didn't know any better. I'm like, wow, that's going to be a call. But on our little 3-acre version of a farm, Wendy's really big in this community as far as you're working at the schools and with all these different population of kids, and I'm in Black Mountain. So we're trying to do, with our little farm, our little vision here, smaller steps, so if you break the death race down on Joe's farm. Now, not all of us have a 100-acre farm with a mountain, but Joe DeSena, if you ever get to hear this, you need to come down here because my mountain is bigger than yours. Our backyard is actually Mount Mitchell, which is the tallest mountain on the East Coast. So, once our backyard goes up a little bit, you go through one more neighbor's yard, and then it's national forest, and there's Mount Mitchell. So you can do things wherever you are, and no matter who you are, following the concepts of that More Heart Than Scars is saying that you're not what happened to you. You're not your disease or disability. We're not COVID-19. In this moment in history, we're in a depression. And yes, there's the COVID-19 thing is going on, and there's political unrest, and there's concerns about equality everywhere, and these massive issues are happening, but each person can take the resources they have and get together and keep the spirit of what an obstacle course race is, which is overcoming struggles together. Yep. And you can sweat. I mean, we got just putting fence up, we're sweating. Putting the sign up is a little sweaty. And we're very blessed that we're getting this rig. So, we may be bigger than some charities trying to do some things, but we're certainly not as big as Joe. But the reality is, if everybody does what they have with what they got, that's where change comes from.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So going forward, no matter how big we get, I want to stay in this close, connected community that we are all on the same page.
Yeah. Putting it into perspective for you, every single time, and it happened again today, as soon as I turn on Zack's street, it's like all of a sudden I feel like I can breathe and I know that I'm home. And that is something that can be created anywhere with anybody if they have that love and that passion to be able to do it. Create those homes.
Yeah.
And it's called Zack's Street.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's Jackson Creek.
Zack lives on Zack Street.
You need to make it More Heart Than Scars Drive.
Well, it's so scary pulling out of here, though, because the flashing light is terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't want any liability. If you ever come to visit, wait for the light to stop flashing before you leave.
Yes.
It's absolutely terrifying.
It is.
But it's a community. So connecting with local charities. So we didn't get to do the bear crawl this year. We're going to do it next year. But you were connecting with to make sure that different students can be involved in. The money was being raised for local charities in this community, like Warriors at Home. Who else is going to benefit from it?
Yeah, so I'm the co-founder of another nonprofit organization called the Bear Crawl, and we are an obstacle course race. We're hoping to actually do a trail race this year, since it doesn't seem like we're going to be able to do an OCR. But those of us that are involved in owning or in partnership of this charity, any proceeds that we receive are going to go to different places within our community. So my vision is to donate money back into the schools, to give to the teachers for the students who can't afford ICs or can't afford book fare money. Maybe there's something else that's coming to the school. And a lot of times that comes out of teachers' pockets. So we just wanted to be able to provide an avenue for that. There's another couple who would be donating to New Manna Christian School for their athletic department, recovery and substance abuse in the area as well. And then there's another local nonprofit called Warriors at Home that was founded by my very good friend, Kenneth Doyle. And they work with veterans, not just in our community, but nationally, to provide opportunities for them to kind of go on excursions, help them find jobs, housing, just more normalcy and stability. But our intention is to do that all on a local scale, all within our tiny county, beginning here and then branching out into other communities around us.
That's the biggest thing.
Awesome.
That every community where you guys are, every place is that how do you connect with the people that are near? How do you work well with your families? How do you? I mean, that's really is like loving your neighbor is challenging sometimes. Sometimes you get in arguments over where are the boundary lines. Loving your neighbor, literally your mailboxes. Working it out. For Wendy and I being the co-founders and co-parents. Us to continue the charity, like every piece of it, there are tremendous struggles, but you can do better. We can all do better. And I think what comes on constantly on the news is this idea that we're a divided people and that there isn't hope. And that's how evil wins. Yes. Evil wins when we feel completely full of despair. I mean, I had no idea when we were first working on those words. It's like, hey, what would you and I were talking like, what would be 4 good things to say? We're like, well, more heart than scars. Like, we need 3 more, it'd be 4, like, there was more faith, more hope, more love, but never, ever before, like, even when I was knighting you for the TV show, I messed up the sequence and said it differently than ever, but the last one was more hope than despair. Is that what it is?
You damed me. I'm not a knight. I'm
a
dame.
Dame. Yes, you did. Yes. Wendy usually does all the daming, but I was like, can I please for her? He's like, yes. But we changed the last thing you said, more hope than despair. Mm-hmm. And right now as a nation and an obstacle course racing community, more than ever, we need more hope than despair.
Absolutely. There's so much unrest right now in our country, but exactly what Zach said, it starts right here at home in our own backyards. And if we can make big, huge differences in our own communities, it's going to spread. Kindness spreads.
Love grows.
That's awesome. I say for me, it's there you go, Joey, the heart. For me, it's been real tough lately because there is so much hate out there and so much, like you said, dividedness, and to just try to always be that beacon of light and hope. I mean, sometimes the light gets a little dull and you need a recharge. Right. And that's where, like Erica said with the hugs, I mean, that little bit of physical contact with other people recharges that light. And that was a real big thing for me last weekend when I was, feeling down and out sometimes with everything going on. So it's been really nice to have that. The charity, you guys do have a bunch of other events that Joey put up as part of the schedule the rest of the year, right?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Some Spartan stuff and
the Spartan races. We hope that will continue to happen for the remainder of the year. But as I mentioned a few moments ago, the Celtic Warrior Challenge and the Scenic City Mud Run, trifecta or triad weekend. And then, there's some other races as well, like West Virginia, if it happens.
What would the Bear Crawl be?
We're doing Atlanta, Spartan.
Yes,
we haven't decided on that.
Okay.
In the Atlanta
Spartan
weekend. And
then the Florida Beast in December. We're planning on doing that weekend too, like we did last year. I swear I got my trifecta last year. So I'm excited about doing that one again. Well, it's really cool, just to reiterate in case you didn't hear, when we do the Celtic Challenge down in Mississippi, we are the recipients as well of the nonprofit of the year, right?
Yeah, we're going to get the proceeds that are coming to More Heart Than Scars.
Yeah. From
the race.
That's awesome. That's actually originally why I reached out to Julie, was to talk about that, because I saw you guys posted up as the recipient. So I reached out to her to be like, hey, let's promote your race since you're hooking up with some great people that I know.
Good. See, I had no idea that you had been talking to Julie. That's
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah,
we love
thank you.
Julie.
So, you know,
That's
part
okay.
of what I've been trying to do.
That's crazy wonderful because, you know, I've watched Braveheart maybe one too many times, and I mean, the Scots, the Celts are a little bit different, but, you know, whatever. It's all kind of coming together in a way that I just can't even believe. Like, yeah.
And one of the things that I love about what we do, and another a newbie to the group, Aaron, or as we call him, Aaron.
That's the proper pronunciation.
Aaron. Yeah. He was even talking about it. He wrote up with me today coming here about how we affect lives that we don't even know about, how the trickle effect of people and the lives that we touch with what we do. He told me about how he followed us on course last year when Erica got her trifecta. I didn't know he was there. No one knew he was there. But he said he was so touched and just realized that he's like, I want to do that too for people. His story is very similar to mine in how he, like, you know what? He came to a decision last year that he was going to give up his elite racing because it's not about him anymore. He said, I want to help people. Because after he saw, when we lifted Erica up over the start wall and the smile she had on her face, he's like, that did it for me. I am going to devote the rest of my life to hopefully coming out with more heart and scars and helping people come across that finish line, because I want to be a part of a smile like Erica had on her face, which was just at the starting line. And I was like, yep, 8 hours and 38 minutes later, she had that same smile when she crossed the finish line.
I did.
Except when you have to. Now, right. If
That was
to be
like
clear,
course.
there was one course where you had to go. It was Asheville. She had to go. We had our kids. We have students on the autism spectrum. We had the entire race. Our kids have worked so hard, and she's like, "We're leaving now." I'm like, "We get the whole thing. We can't leave the kids behind.
I'm like,
on the
get me
clock
off this
here.
course.
We're gonna go off the course." I'm like, "What's going on?" I didn't know that. We finished it, but that was one of the funniest moments.
And I didn't tell Zach until after
I was like,
why I panicked.
I was like, what is going on with you? What do you? We had like 2 obstacles left to go. She's like, we're just going to the finish. I'm like, these kids have been with us for like 8 hours, you know? And, oh my God, what is happening here? Made so much more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I have
Emily
irritable bowel syndrome. I get that. Like, there are times I'm like, I have to leave now. I just get up and go.
Emily Rose came out that day. My alter ego that we don't like to come out came out that day. I'm like, just get me off the course.
Barring pooping incident, we were all for finishing with a smile on your face. But you know, if you just let go all the way, you could have still smiled. It could have been.
I didn't want to poop on Joey.
Well, you know, it wouldn't be the.
Take her back. Right.
What's
Had
that?
an accident on me.
Yeah.
So take her back to the dunk wall. It'll be all right.
Right. I think that at that point I was already cold and
That's
I wasn't
right.
even getting in the dunk wall.
That's
I was
right.
like, I'm done.
Is that human or cow? What's going on here?
I mean, we had an incident. We had another race. One of our very good friends, Erica knows as well, really well. And Zach and I were lifting her up to go over a wall, and all of a sudden this rain starts coming down, and I look at Zach, he looks at me, and I'm like, okay, this is happening.
This is part of it.
It's always a proud thing for me at the end of every race. I'm like, I did not pee on anybody. That's like a huge accomplishment at the end of the race.
Oh, boy.
So what happens when you're working with adaptive athletes.
It's what happens.
There is no filter, and what happens on course stays on course.
Unless it's truly epic, then we have to share
Yes.
it.
And then we tell Dawn about it.
Yeah, then we tell you about
it. We didn't say her name, so she is safe.
Right, we didn't say her name.
Have an accent.
Yep.
And I'll totally own up to mine. I'm good with it. So
That's awesome.
we have lots of fun, that's for sure.
We're cracking him up.
I know. No, and so last year at my at the Florida Beast, one of my other friends who's also a para-athlete, he's an amputee. He ended up joining us at the start line, actually. It was crazy because him and I have been friends for years on social media, but we've never met in person. And he, all of a sudden I hear somebody say, hey, Erica, and I look and here it is. His name is Brian, but he goes by One Leg. And he will I know, he's fine. So he will tell you, if you ask him, what's your name? He'll say, my name is One Leg. He's like, the old me is dead. And, but he ended up doing the entire race with us. And the way that it worked out, he ended up meeting us. And so, I mean, it worked out absolutely beautiful. He was getting some nasty sores from his prosthetic. It was a brand new prosthetic. He had never worn it before. And here he was doing a beast of all things.
And a brand new prosthetic.
And a brand new prosthetic leg. And he was in a lot of pain. He was struggling. And, you know, we were able to help him finish that race. And I remember, like, towards the end, I'm like, we are not stopping until we are both crossing that finish line. And
we waited. Yeah,
we waited for him. And it was
slowed down quite a lot.
Yeah.
But we waited
the
for him.
wheelchair can move so much faster. That's one of the things that we can move the wheelchair at a certain speed. It was we were getting cold. It was getting late. My dog was misbehaving.
Yes,
Tina
she
was
was.
misbehaving.
Yes.
I've never seen that side of Zack at one point.
She was.
I had to do a little bit of correction. But it was so he put me on to actually pull. He's like, and it was like I was tired. My feet hurt. I had chafing going on. Like,
it's like 14 hours on
spectacular
course.
chafing. And Joey's like, okay, let's go. And he's like saying, you're like, yeah, okay. And I pulled. And he's like, oh, like I was going. I was like, we're like headed towards we are going. You know, like we're gonna pull. And but then we were able to wait to get to finish. But we had to get to a safe spot. I mean, that's the thing that's difficult. The wheelchair can move at the speed of the people that are pulling it. I've seen Wendy pull things up the hill that I've been in the back going like, slow down.
Wendy is the epitome of our
like,
horse. I mean, the way
she
she
doesn't like
just
to stop. Just once she's like going up the hill. On
Yeah.
the hill, she's going. I'm like, ah! But you know, but when an amputee is going up beside the wheelchair, there is so much pressure. You know, I can get, you know, just in my hands and fingers when they get like so wet and cold and I be hitting and beating on things, they begin to hurt and ache, like grabbing on a rope, any sort of rope pull or bucket carry. My hands are shot towards the end of that time. I don't even want to touch them together. And so that's what's happening to somebody's leg, you know, so, and it's just raw and irritated and there isn't any relief.
Yeah.
And so we found that we need to go the speed of the amputee instead of the speed of the chair.
Yep.
And there's just all kinds of things that have happened that we've learned.
And hopefully he'll actually, as of right now, he'll be joining us in Atlanta and in Florida at the Beast in December. So it'd be super cool again to have. I love it as one of the athletes. I absolutely love when I have my friends who are also differently abled be able to start and finish a race with me. There's just something about that. I mean, without these guys, that would never, ever be able to happen. There's no way I alone could finish a race. There's absolutely no way. One Leg can finish a race independently without us, but putting us together and starting together and then being able to finish together is just one of the, I don't know, I don't even have a word for it. It's the best feeling in the world. I remember when we did with Chloe last year, one of our other athletes, Chloe, who is ambulatory, she has Friedreich's ataxia. And so the longer that we're on course, the more weak that her legs get and the more tired and exhausted she gets. And, you know, that was my first time ever having one of my adaptive friends with me on course. And I know there were tears shed multiple times. And at the very end, you know, she was just exhausted and I'm like, sit in my lap. And so she did. And I think it was you pulling us.
Picture of that.
Yeah, we have a really awesome picture somewhere floating around Facebook land of Chloe sitting on my lap and Joey pulling us.
On my phone.
Yeah, it's on my phone too. But that was just such an awesome moment, you know, knowing that she was as exhausted and in pain as she was. And for me to be able to like just sit in my lap and then knowing that, you know, they had our backs. And at that point we had already crossed the finish line. We were just trying to get back to the tent and we were done.
Even the tent of the car is the worst thing.
Yes.
The idea that there's handicap parking at a Spartan race is
It's definitely not the
It is out there by the volunteer parking.
It just isn't. I mean, it's but we've been so spoiled all the years of having good parking. Like I can't even imagine doing what we do and then having to do the walk afterwards. I see people after they finish the race and I'm like all gauded up and like barely put my legs together trying to carry stuff and like just trying to get to the tents. I think the after race is the most difficult thing. Like I'm gonna try to rinse off. No, I'm not. I mean, I think that whatever restaurant we go to afterwards, we destroy.
We do.
We destroy
With
them.
Taco Bell in Florida.
That's okay. Taco Bell has destroyed many people. It's okay to give back.
That was all we could think about. Zach is like, I don't want to hear another word until it's tacos. I just need tacos. But going back to being able to do a race with another adaptive athlete, you know, now since we've had these amazing blessings from returning the favor with Mike Rowe, you know, we have these multiple.
Oh, wow, this is big.
Woohoo! We have these multiple freedom chairs now, where we can have more than one wheeler.
Get RX. Get RX.
It's get RX.
Get RX.
Yeah.
So that's the rig that we have that we're putting up. We were thinking maybe having it in a gym, but you know, a gym we were going to partner with, it didn't make it through COVID, and so we're like, it's got to come to our place. And so, you know, in the most local thing, we're going to have a half-mile trail right on our land, having the Get Rexed rig. Of course, the one who's like the most.
Yeah, no, you keep talking about it.
I'm excited about this rig.
Apple fitted sheets.
Hey, I can too.
We're gonna have an obstacle, a more heart than scars version of an obstacle course here. You know, just with the stuff that we were blessed with from returning the favor with Mike Rowe. I mean, it's not only are we gonna be able to do, you know, these Spartan races and the other OCRs with more than one adaptive athlete at a time, but also have this headquarters, which is amazing, especially now that COVID has you know, kind of put a damper on things in the OCR world. You know, now we're going to have a space, because there's no telling how long this COVID stuff is going to go on. And now we have a space for people to come and still get the same gratification that we get out of doing the bigger OCRs right here at headquarters, which is absolutely amazing. You know, to be able to come up here and still get to play in the mud with our friends and train on the rig and do a little bit of obstacle stuff is priceless for us.
And we've got the belly axe to take, and we have the Grit Freedom chairs to do that. So we can, in so many ways, we can do cool little stuff right here in the local area. We live in a beautiful area. But well, I used to do Outward Bound a long time ago, but they used to do Outward Bound courses even in New York City. The idea was you didn't have to have that experiential thing. Just, yeah, it's great with dog sleds. It's great mountaineering. It's great out at sea. But you can have the same thing even in the city, even in the park. That adventurous spirit can take place. You know, work with what you got. And because there was a time that when we first started, I was so sick I couldn't go to some race. It was a Battle Frog. You're going to wear the armor. They're carrying an MC. Pennsylvania. She went to Pennsylvania. We had enough money to make stickers, but there wasn't enough gas money to come home. So you had to sell. You went there with a package of stickers.
I don't know what I went with.
You had some stickers.
I went with the damn shield.
You went the shield. She carried the shield. But she had to sell enough stickers to get the gas money to come back. And that is the faith that we've...
Tim McCall drove me back.
Thank God.
Good old Tim.
Yes.
Who knows? He might still show up. Who knows? He might be coming.
That's great. Uncle Grandpa, bring it on.
Oh, not Tim McCall. No. I thought, no, not
That's
Tim.
Paul.
No, not Paul. Wookie.
Tim
Tim
Fulner.
Fulner. Yeah, I got my Tim
We
Fulner.
don't know anybody by their real name.
Yes.
So he got Uncle Grandpa and Wookie mixed up.
I did. I missed.
Oh, okay.
Our Wookie.
I should have said Uncle Grandpa.
I would have gotten that better. I heard Tim like, oh, okay.
Whose name is Tim Fulner.
Yeah.
He's a
So,
Wookie.
oh yeah, he also goes by a clown and whatever.
Whatever he dresses as.
So the point is that if the smallest things we had, just getting started, and there was times that we had nothing, and we were just trying to go through and saying yes to whatever we could, and then going on faith. And so the way I think that the universe works, the way I think this goes, and there's some other much smarter, braver, kinder, intelligent, more faithful people than me, is you gotta step out in faith first. The miracles don't happen until you act. I mean, there's grace for sure, but if you want to live a life that is going to not just inspire you and keep you going and get other people going, is you have to step out in that faith when there is no evidence. I mean, they're like, it's were you going to believe in God or not? Well, there's evidence to believe in God, and you get a decision, but
faith over fear.
Yeah, but the faith over fear, but to take action, saying, you know what? Not only do I believe in this concept of good, but I'm going to act on it when I have no evidence that I'm going to be supported or lifted up or carry through. And even with people all around you, they're going to doubt it and say, what are you doing? Why are you giving so much or going in this direction? How is it ever going to work out? How are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to do your thing?
That's faith.
If you act consistently, and in the darkest, hardest times, there's so many times that I've thought about giving up and just thought, well, we made it this far. We did a couple of things that was cool. And somebody reaches out in a Facebook message to me and says, hey, I just got to let you know this helped me get through it. I mean, we were at a park one time, and we got a message from one of the first person I ever said was a military guy saying to us that, hey, I saw what you all were doing with your very first race, and I've dropped all this weight, and I was really suicidal, and I'm not anymore, and I know what I want to do. And he was trying to thank us, and we were talking about how much we were thanking him, like that, you know, his life changing, and telling us when there's so many times we're like, I don't know if we can do it again. And you know, now that we've gotten some more blessings and things have come up, because it was so cool, like the show happened. I mean, Mike Rowe was right here, we're right here, gave us the flag, and you're like, and we're like, it's gonna happen. And a rocket science company was gonna give us some money to go on climb Kilimanjaro. I mean, all these things are happening, and then we're like, COVID, and like it's just like it was our biggest moment, and then we're like,
but I have to interject real quick. Kilimanjaro is still happening. It's just going to happen in 2021 now.
Yeah, right. We still have to work on some funding. We'll figure it out.
We're figuring it out.
We'll figure it out.
It's happening.
But,
we're climbing Mount Kilimanjaro in 2021.
What it comes down to is you got to act even though you have no clear evidence that you're going to be able to make it, and do the right thing anyway. That's it.
Yeah.
That's that moment in Lord of the Rings. You know, I always get, so you and I, all of us are like, you know, when it's like, I used to, you know, I may not be able to carry the ring, but I can carry you. And that's it. That is like, more hard than scars is like a really long time. They could have sent the Eagles in. It would have been easier. They could have gone there directly. We ran out of whey bread, you know, we're chafed, we're hot, we're sweaty, you know, we're hurt, bleeding, but we carry each other.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's it. So if Peter Jackson finds out about this, since we've been dreaming big, since the craziest things, and Mike Rowe showed up, like, okay, that happened.
It did.
Yeah. So
what did you say, Peter Jackson?
Peter Jackson,
write a movie about
if you'd like to have a group of hobbits, inspired lovers of the hobbits,
We might even have hobbit houses.
we might have hobbit house. We are one of our buildings going to be a hobbit place. So
I'm gonna be Elven. I don't want hairy feet.
You don't want hairy feet?
No.
I want to be an elf because I don't really want that either.
I don't think I have a choice. I think I'll be those dwarf guys, no matter what I want to think. I try to pretend that I'm somebody else, but I was like, I like to be the king, Aragorn, but I'm more Gimli. I'd have a bush axe. I'd have poison ivy and a bush axe. That would be my version of the whole story. Sneaking off to get pizza. By the way, the pizza's been here. She hasn't had any. He hasn't. I've had 2 slices of pizza. When I went to go get the flag, I got a piece while I was grabbing it and shoved the entire thing in my face. It was just one giant.
Roll it up.
Yes. Yeah, I love. That's the truth. Yes, you complete me.
Hug, Daddy. Hug.
Yep. I always loved pizza day back in school because you could take that little square pizza they gave you and roll it up and just 2 bites.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Out to reach that.
Oh.
Love
School
doing
pizza, there was nothing better than school pizza. Like, I seriously, when I go back to my hometown to visit, I kind of want to go, but I know that all of the teenagers would be like, what is this woman in a wheelchair doing? I'm like, I'm just here for the pizza, guys.
Just here for the pizza. Well, a lot
And
of
then they
people
look at you like you're crazy.
They did use that pizza for the bottom of the space shuttle for the tiles.
I think it has like government cheese on it.
You
or
put the
something.
government
It's
cheese. You
amazing.
can put it on the bottom of the space shuttle, and they can just land it. It's fine. It doesn't
amazing.
change. Heat doesn't affect it. Cold.
And we put that in their
Stomach.
body.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, the healthy one. The one you can actually see.
The healthy one over
The one
here.
who has got you can feel his abs. Even I with my nubby fingers can feel his abs. That's going on over here.
Oh, stop.
keep
Joke.
those
Okay.
finding rods to find my apps. They're like.
Sorry, we can go off on so many different topics. Don.
That's fun.
So
we have
sorry.
lots of squirrel moments.
I say last time Zach and I talked, it was for over an hour and a half, and I think we just stopped because we needed to.
As I say, I feel like when you and I get on the phone too, it's like we don't want to stop talking. Every podcast
Yeah, I
we've
think I
done.
just do that. I need to just get on a plane and get down there.
Well, we love
I was
to
going to
have
say,
that happen.
I need you to know that it is written in stone. You and Lisa both have promised me now you're going to do a race with me eventually. So there is no excuses. Once everything comes down, we've got to get you out here.
I will send you the schedule.
Yep.
That way you'll know what we potentially have for the remainder of the year.
Yes.
But no matter what happens, if some things get canceled, we can still do stuff here.
Well, we didn't mention this,
Yeah.
but on the third weekend in September, that's when we hope to have the first annual More Heart Than Scars OCR charity race.
Yes.
Yeah.
That may
Just
not be the name of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a challenge. Just using our challenge course here, I think that's, and so you could do it like a time trial, small groups. We would love like to throw down the wheelchair and go, "What's up?" Other teams, come on out here. You know, like how fast can you do it? And have different groups with different abilities, trying it out, different age groups. Since it's the first one, no matter what category you come up with, you're gonna win. So if it's anything you can come up with, we can have categories.
I'm even going to reach out to
burning sciatica. Yeah.
I'm even going to reach out to a couple of the Spartan pros, Ryan Woods and Robert Killian, and see if they'll might come out and donate some time and hang out with us that day. So we'll see.
But again,
That'd be real cool.
If anybody's sticking it out and hearing this, the challenge is to find a small group of people that you can connect with that are going to love you even when you fail and you fall, and they're going to help carry your burdens, and they're going to forgive you, and you're going to forgive them. And that's it.
Wipe the mud off.
We're laughing because I don't know how. The one person that cannot walk that's here, I have mud between my toes. And I haven't walked anywhere today. So we're laughing about.
We had it set up. The guy was agreeing to crush and run to make it possible to get through, but that didn't work out at the last minute. So
I'm seeing Jesus right now. Jesus coming. You're looking up. I'm like, look at his hair. Hey.
It's so cool when it does that.
Whoa.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
My wife needed something, and it was really cool because it turned into the background.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Wow, that's cool.
That is super cool.
Can't even
Wow.
makes me disappear. The joys of the digital background.
Well, it's been great talking with you. We gotta. I think I need to have a third piece of pizza, and other people need to have the first one.
Was there anything
Yeah, we
else
should probably
that
let them
you
eat something.
wanted to talk about?
Oh, who knows? We'll probably just catch up again next time too. I
Yes,
mean,
we will.
All right.
the only person I haven't had alone now is Wendy, so I guess I'm gonna have to get her next.
Yes.
I'm always
You
available.
have to get Wendy.
Yeah, her
So-
perspective on this whole
so-
thing is very grounded for me. It always comes back to like, well,
She is what grounds us.
yeah, like, well, okay,
Like-
if we're gonna help one person, we're gonna help our community. If no matter what we've done, and I think, well, what if we can't do any more? It's like, well, we've already done enough, and so that is encouraging. That you just do that next thing. So that's the thing that people that stick this out is find one or two people that you can count on, and that they can count on you.
I feel like we all balance each other out. And even when we're all together, I mean, you have all these different energies and personalities, but it just works because we all kind of balance each other out. It's the love that we share. That's what I'm claiming
That's
anyway.
awesome.
It's the love.
Well, why don't you guys go get some dinner since it's sitting there getting cold, and I'll get this up next week, and we'll touch base again in a couple weeks again, and I'll reach out to Wendy and we'll talk about the bear crawl.
That'd be
Yeah.
great.
awesome.
Awesome.
Good to see you.
Awesome.
All right.
Good seeing you,
Thanks
brother.
to see you guys all. Love
Thanks.
you all.
Love you.
Love
Have a
you.
great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Dawn.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the BeastNet podcast. If you haven't done it yet, find us on Facebook, like and share the podcast. Give us a review on iTunes or Spotify. All these things will help to expand the show in the future. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you think and what you'd like to hear.